Hi, I'm Eric Stites, CEO at Franchise Business Review. Over the past 12 years, we've been studying franchisee satisfaction and performance and have had the honor and the privilege to work with over 1,100 brands in the franchise industry. One of the most common questions that I get asked is how do you keep franchisees engaged, especially your more senior people? I don't think it's any big secret that business owners of all types get bored after a few years of being in business and doing the same thing over and over again. They plateau, and sometimes their performance plateaus. And it's really important in any franchise system to keep them engaged. So I want to give you a few tips on how to do that and talk a little bit about, what the common issues are among your more senior people and how do you get those franchisees engaged. So here we are inside the FBR analytics system, and I can look at my survey results and I can quickly see on the dashboard, how many franchisees completed the survey, what the participation rate was, what their overall franchisee satisfaction index score is, or FSI, and how that compares to our benchmark score. So in this case, comparing this data to the QSR sector, which looks at every QSR, quick service restaurant that we've surveyed in the last 18 months. And I can go up here and I can choose whatever sector I want from the list of available sectors, and then we also can create custom sectors for you. But so the purpose of this is really to get inside the head of my more tenured franchisees to find out what their specific issues are. So if I go up to the filter participants option, I can filter on any question in the survey. And so if I click on the market information section, one of the first questions we ask in any survey is how long has the franchisee owned their franchise. So if you click on that, you see the possible responses that are given. I can click on 10 years plus or any range of answers and just say close and then recalculate. And it basically will give me the responses for just that group of people. So you can quickly see here that, again, it's filtering my data for how long franchisees have been in the system, and it's just showing me people that have been in business for 10 years. So now I can look at their responses on an aggregate level for these main sections. I can go into any one of these sections to see how they rated any given question and see what their issues are compared to other franchisees in the system and what those variances may be. So again, you can go through this question by question, just scrolling down on the left to go through the sections. And the really cool thing is now I can go in and I can look at the free text responses, which is where a lot of nuggets are typically given from franchise owners in those open text opportunities. And so again, if I think there's a problem with training and support, I can go into that section and see all the questions, all the responses from franchisees, again, that have been in business for 10 years and what they have to say about my training and support programs. So again, it's great to be able to go in and see everybody's response, look at what the newer franchisees have to say about training and support. Obviously, that's going to be very different from what the older franchisees are going to say about training and support. And as I'm going through here and I see a comment that I maybe don't understand or want a little bit more information on, I can just click on the franchisee's name if they provided it, and it'll take me to that person's detailed responses. So I can see their full survey, all the responses, and all the feedback that they gave. So it's a really easy way to give me a deep understanding of, not only the overall challenges and benefits of our system, but what the different groups of franchisees have to think. And again, we're trying to get inside the head of the more tenured franchisees here, so this gives me a really quick and easy way to do that. Step 2 is to celebrate the experience at your franchisees and help leverage that across your system. One of the best ways to do this and help older franchisees get re-engaged is through a mentorship program. We have lots of clients that have activated successful mentorship programs throughout their system, and it can be as simple as just having a franchisee, a more senior franchisee, spend a couple of days with a newer person to help them kind of show the ropes and learn what they've learned about the business over the time that they've been in the system.
It's also a great way for the more senior people to learn some of the newer things that some of the newbies bring to your system. Because again, let's face it, they went through training 10, 15, 20 years ago maybe, and there's a lot of new things that have come along since then that they may not be up to speed with that some of the newer franchisees are. Some brands even choose to bring those franchisees on full time as corporate staff, as support and training staff. And that, depending on the franchisee situation, if they want to sell their business and then come on to the corporate, may be a great opportunity for them. In other cases, they may be able to maintain the business as a absentee owner and have someone else run it for them while they're working for the corporate office. So that may be an option as well. Another great tool to help re-engage franchisees is franchisee performance groups or peer performance groups. And this is a great way to bring franchisees together. Now, when you think about why anyone buys a franchise, it's typically to be together in a community of other business owners. So a lot of times these franchisees that are been around your system for a longer time, they've kind of lost those connections. And so bringing them into a peer performance group can really help reinvigorate those connections and help them raise their performance. Um, these are best set up with, somewhere between 5 and 7 franchisees. You don't want them to be too large. You want to mix them up geographically, mix them up performance-wise, mix them up size-wise. So, have some larger franchisees mixed in with some smaller franchisees and some newer franchisees mixed in with some more senior franchisees. And again, they can all learn from each other. They're all in the same business. But it's amazing what these peer performance groups can do. And I would encourage you to set it up in a way so they're getting together quarterly. Usually it's 2 face-to-face meetings a year. One can be scheduled at your annual conference, another part of the year, and then 2 can be done over the phone. And it's usually an all-day activity. Um, it takes a long time to kind of walk through each of the individual's businesses and some of the challenges that they may have. Not everybody wants to share each time, but again, the more time you can provide and give a deeper dive for the franchisees, these can be done on their own with the franchisees moderating it, or they can be moderated through corporate staff or a third-party facilitator. And we'd be happy to help if you need advice on how to set those up.
And my final tip is to visit our franchisor website at tour.franchisebusinessreview.com and go to the Resource Center. We have lots of resources there to help you learn more about re-engaging franchisees and raise the performance of your whole franchise system. Thanks for listening.